Welcome back to the channel, guys. If you're new here, my name's Dave and I like to enjoy my truck camping adventures all year round, whatever the weather. So as we head into the winter months, I thought it would be a good idea to show you guys how to stay warm in the back of your truck bed or your car camper so you can keep warm and enjoy more time in the outdoors. So one of the first things you need to think about is how you're going to insulate the back of the truck bed. So I find that the majority of heat that's lost goes through the floor or the windows of the truck bed. So the method that I use to insulate the bottom of the truck bed actually serves two purposes. You'll find that a lot of these trucks come with a bed liner, and it's plastic, it's hard, and it's got all these ridges in it, and it's actually quite uncomfortable to sit on or kneel in the back of the truck when you're getting things in and out. So one of the first things I did to counteract that was just get myself a carpeted bed liner, and that's great, but there's no real insulation in that. So my solution, just to create some insulation for the truck bed, just to nip along to a local camping shop and get myself one of these thermal roll mats. They're relatively cheap, and you can just cut them to size. I've got two of these, one on the right side of the bed and one on the left side of the bed, and I've just butted them up together so there's no gap in the middle. And these work great because not only is it giving the bottom of your truck bed some insulation, but it's also giving you that extra padding because they're quite thick, so it makes it a little bit more comfy to sleep on top of or sit on. And these just slide underneath the carpet liner, and then the carpet liner is just velcroed onto the bottom of the truck bed. So the next thing you need to think about is how am I going to insulate my windows, and the best solution that I found was just by using some of the thermal Reflectix. So I've just made these myself out of a roll of Reflectix, and the good thing is they just store nice and compact in the back of your truck, so they're not taking up much space. So these are really easy and cheap to make. A roll of Reflectix is probably around £10, I think you get about 6 metres of it. So all you need to do to make these, they're really simple, is just line the roll up against your window, draw around it with a Sharpie, and then just cut it out to size. I just took these one step further. You find a lot of advice on the internet is just to slot them into the frame of the window and they'll stay up on their own. But I wanted something a little bit more permanent than that, so I just got myself some suction cups, and these are the ones that come with a fixing nut on the other side. So all you need to do is just pop them through the Reflectix material, and then I just made myself some little cardboard washers that just stops you damaging the material when you put the nut on. Place the washer over the screw, and then you can just screw the nut on. And I'm just using 2 suction cups for the smaller windows, and then for the bigger tailgate window I've got 4 suction cups on there. Okay guys, next we're going to talk about our sleeping setup. So all of this equipment and everything else that's in here just goes nice and neat in the back of the truck bed, and I've actually got a video that covers all of that, and I'll put a link to that at the end of this video. So despite the fact that I've got the nice thick thermal matting underneath the carpet bed liner, I also use self-inflating roll mat. The amount of space that these little self-inflating mats take up, they're worth having with you to provide an added bit of warmth and also an added bit of comfort. Open the nozzle and that'll self-inflate on its own. But this is one of the compact versions, which is ideal for the back of a truck bed. Just slide that in there. Next up is my Deep Sleep thermo pillow. I really love this. It's really nice and warm, it's really soft, and it packs down really small, just handy to store in the back of the truck, by a company called Vango. And just a couple of breaths in that and it'll inflate. Here we go. It's lovely and soft, and it's really warm as well. I've tried loads of inflatable pillows over the years, and I found this one to be the best. So when I'm sleeping in the back of the truck bed, I tend to use a 3 to 4 season sleeping bag. I won't go into too much detail about these, but there's plenty on the market and you'll know which ones suit your climate best, but I would recommend a 3 to 4 season at least. And then the next thing I'd recommend is one of these outdoor down blankets. This is by a company called 4 Monster. They're really warm, they're really compact, and they're also water resistant as well. And even if you're just sitting around the campfire and you want a little bit of added warmth, these are really good just to pop on and take the chill off. And then when I do get into bed, I do like to wear a set of base layers, and I also bring with me my down slippers as well. These are nice and light, really warm, and I find them less restrictive than wearing socks. There you go guys, so that's my winter sleeping system set up. The advantage of this is everything comes back out, stows nice and neatly in the truck bed, and you've got all that usable space again. I also find it a good idea to bring with me some of the adhesive body warmers, as well as some hand warmers as well. Good thing about these is you can just stick them on before you get into bed, on your chest or your back. And the little hand warmers as well, you can just pop them into your sleeping bags, almost like a mini water bottle. Right guys, so once you've got your sleeping system all set up and you're in the back of the truck bed, you need to start thinking about how you're going to heat the space around you. So rather than using the typical camping gas heaters that you see, which I think can be quite dangerous, particularly in a small space like this, I've always got with me a mobile power bank. In this case, This is my Jackery 1000 version 2. I thought it was a better idea to combine the existing power I've got from the Jackery with a electric heater tube. And all I've done is fix the electric heater tube to the wheel arch of the truck bed. And I think it's a great addition to anyone who does truck bed camping or car camping, as they're really compact and they give off enough power to heat up a small space. So the one I've got is about 30 centimeters long and they come in different sizes. Obviously the bigger size, the more power they use. And this one in particular is around 30 centimeters long and it uses about 28 watt hours per hour. It's got an adjustable thermostat on the side. And this, paired with my Jackery 1000 on a full power setting, should run for at least 24 hours. Normally I have this on for an hour or so before bed and then an hour or so in the morning as well. But you can put it on during the night as well, just using a timer. And then all I've done is just routed the cable for the heater behind the back of the truck bed, and then it just comes over to my power bank, so I can just plug that in, turn the power bank on, and just turn the heater on. So as you can see, the output is around 28 watts and the Jackery's saying it should run for around 25 hours, and that's currently at 92%. And over here I can just adjust the temperature, and this heats up really quick, and then once you've closed all the truck bed up, depending on the temperature outside, this warms it up in about 20-25 minutes. So once I'm in the back of the truck bed and I've got the heater on, I just find it's a good idea just to use one of these rechargeable fans just to move the warm air around the truck. And if you just combine the fan with one of these moisture absorbing bags, it just helps reduce condensation in the back of the truck. So one of the best things I find about using the electric heater is you're not having to worry about carbon monoxide poisoning. But if you do decide to use a gas camping heater, just get yourself one of these carbon monoxide alarms, just so you're not running that risk. And since I've also got power in the back of the truck bed, I recently invested myself in an electric kettle. I was using a jet boil, but I just think this is more convenient and safer to use in the back of the truck bed. So you can just pop that in. And now I've got some water in the kettle. I can just use that to make myself a hot water bottle just to pop inside the sleeping bag, and also a nice hot drink before I go to bed just to warm your core up. And this kettle's great because it's really compact and it only takes a minute or two to boil. Just pour the water from the kettle into your bottle. Make sure you're using one of the Nalgene bottles or Camelback ones, and it's got a secure lid on it. You don't want to scald yourself with hot water or have that leaking out in your sleeping bag at night. And this will stay warm now for a good few hours. I can put it inside my jacket, or I can put it inside my sleeping bag. Right guys, we have a top tip for you here. I use these insulated food bags just to stow my clothes in for the next morning, keep them nice and warm. And when I do that, take my clothes for the next morning, just roll them up and put them inside the insulated bag, and then get yourself 2 hand warmers, turn them on, pop one at the bottom of the bag and one at the top, zip your bag up, and that just means when you come to put your clothes on in the morning, they're nice and toasty and warm. And the other thing I like to do is just to store any of my footwear in a boot bag. So if they're wet or muddy, it's not all going in the back of the truck bed. Right guys, really hope you enjoyed this week's episode. You'll be able to get some handy tips on how to stay warm this winter, truck camping or car camping. So if you've been able to take something away from this week's episode, and you do enjoy outdoor adventures and truck camping, please consider subscribing to the channel. Thanks very much, and catch you on the next one. Cheers guys.